Good morning everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be taking you through a full day of eating, listening to my body while also simultaneously prioritizing my values when it comes to health and nutrition. And I asked you guys on Instagram what questions you have specifically about my diet, my approach to nutrition, and all of that good stuff, so I'm going to be answering your questions along the way. First things first, I'm starting out my day with a little Shilajit tea. I use the Shilajit that I get from Symbiotica. I steep it with some mint tea, throw in some lemon juice, a little bit of honey from Beekeeper's Naturals, some collagen, and then I topped it off with a lemon spindrift to get a little bit more lemon flavor, and also the bubbly. It makes it just nice. I am already getting kind of hungry today, so I think I'm gonna make breakfast pretty soon. Just wanna get through a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna make my favorite chocolate frosty smoothie bowl. It's been a while since I've made that on YouTube. It's been a while since I've prepped the ingredients for it in general. I don't remember the last time I had a chocolate frosty smoothie bowl, so today is gonna be a great day. But before I make my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl, I'm gonna answer one of the first questions, and that was about like meal timing earlier in the day. We're gonna go kind of in chronological order of the questions-ish. Question is, if you work out before breakfast, you also experience lower strength, or is that just me? I haven't worked out before breakfast in quite a while, but it used to be my go-to. Like, I used to not be able to work out with anything in my stomach, so I would have to train first thing in the morning and then eat breakfast after it. It just gave me like, not acid reflux, it would just make me feel like really, really bad if I had eaten anything and then tried to do an intense workout. So I would like wake up, work out, and then get food, and then walk to class, because that was when I was in college. Now I don't really train fasted anymore for no particular reason other than my schedule's just different, my life is just different. I do love a good like morning workout, and for me personally, I've not been able to notice a significant strength difference that would make me want to for sure do one over the other. I've hit really good PRs fasted. That said, I think that's pretty atypical. I think most people are gonna feel stronger when they have a little bit of something in their stomach. A pre-workout meal can work wonders for strength and exercise performance and being able to make progress in the gym. But here's the thing, is it doesn't matter if it's just you or if it's literally everyone else also. What affects you is what affects you, and that's really all that matters. And so if you are feeling weaker without having a pre-workout meal, then I recommend having a pre-workout meal. If you feel worse with a pre-workout meal, then I recommend not having a pre-workout meal. We could turn to the science here, and I could tell you that everyone should be having a pre-workout meal like an hour before they work out that consists of X number of grams of carbs and X number of grams of protein. That's what's gonna be optimal. But here's the thing, not everyone is average, and when it comes to humans and nutrition, the bell curve is not very steep. It's a very like shallow bell curve. So yeah, a lot of people are average, but there's a wide discrepancy there. So when it comes to nutrition timing and workouts, what makes you feel the best in the gym is ultimately what gets you the best results in the gym. Alrighty, I'm ready for the day. Time to make breakfast. As always, full recipe on my website, MissFitAndNerdy.com. I just homemade a fresh batch of cashew coconut milk. It's delicious. Oh God, I'm really bad at pouring things. Ooh, I did it. Now we need some protein. Using Organifi chocolate today. I'm gonna throw in a teaspoon of maca because yay, hormone balance and energy. Do hemp seeds, all of the cacao. So much cacao.
Even more cacao.
I think I'll do some flax seeds too today. Why not? Doing the tiniest little smidgen of monk fruit. Some of the cacao superfood honey from Beekeeper's Naturals, which has become my favorite honey to add into this. Mostly because the honey's really good and it also has chocolate in it. So it just makes it even chocolatier. It's so good. We're gonna do a dollop of almond butter, 1 single drop of peppermint extract. That was 2 drops. I need to scoop one out or else it will literally be ruined. This peppermint is so powerful that 1 drop, perfection. 2 drops.
You'll never taste anything ever again because the mint will just be so overwhelming.
And then last but not least, my veggie smoothie cubes that I have prepped and some ice. For anyone new around here, my veggie smoothie cubes are 2 parts sweet potato, 1 part cauliflower, 1 part zucchini, steamed, blended with a little bit of coconut milk and goat yogurt, and then frozen into cubes. And I like to use it as a base for my smoothies because it's really sweet because of the sweet potato. You can't really taste the zucchini and the cauliflower, but they add a ton of fiber, they add a ton of vitamins, and they also add good like frozen bulk to the smoothie, so it makes it the like really just like thick texture that I love having in a smoothie. So I'm gonna go blend this, BRB. Oh God, that's a box. I'm gonna go this way. Either it's been way too long since I've had this, or this is actually one of the best chocolate frosty smoothie bowls that I've made in quite a while, but I know it doesn't look like much because it just looks like brown soup, but I am so impressed with myself because this is so delicious. Alrighty, breakfast has been eaten. Let's answer some questions. Yes, first question that I wanted to talk about. How many calories are your maintenance calories? Right now, I have 0 idea. It has been months since I have actively tracked my calories. And in the last like 3 months, my workouts have been all over the place. I've gone from being pretty darn sedentary because I injured myself to last week most of my activity was like hiking through the mountains because I went on a tiny little trip with some friends. The week before that I lifted like 3 or 4 times, and the week before that I think I mostly stretched. So like not only am I not tracking calories, I also have very inconsistent activity. And so in listening to my body, eating when I'm hungry, stopping when I'm full, my calories have almost definitely been all over the place to match my activity level. So I don't even have consistent maintenance calories right now. This I think is probably one of the biggest benefits to being able to eat intuitively, is like when you do have stretches of time where your workouts can't be consistent, if you don't know how much you're burning, it's really hard to know how much to eat if you're tracking. Whereas if you can trust your body and listen to your body, your workouts can be all over the place and your body's just gonna do what it needs to do, and it's going to make you hungry for the appropriate amount of nutrition. Next question, how much veggies should you eat in a day? The general guideline that I generally recommend for people is aim for 2 cups of veggies a day. I personally don't like actively go like, okay, if I haven't hit my 2 cups of veggies goal, then I failed for the day. Like, I just try to eat veggies whenever I can, and I load them into my breakfast, I load them into my dinner, and I think I usually end up eating probably at least 2 cups of vegetables a day. But again, I don't track because I know I eat a really good amount of vegetables. Like my breakfast just now had at least a cup of cauliflower, zucchini, and sweet potato. Then I almost always have vegetables with dinner, and it's usually at least a cup, if not 2 or 3 cups. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. And then my answer to this next question is kind of similar, which is why I put it next, and it's, do you always assure each meal is fully balanced? And again, this is the thing where like I kind of almost intuitively just aim for balanced meals, and it is a thought that crosses my mind, but it's not like the end all be all where like, you know, if I want to have a coffee and donut for breakfast, I'll have a coffee and donut for breakfast. Like, it's not a big deal. That doesn't happen often, but like if I want it, I have it. It just kind of so happens that my favorite go-to meals do tend to be very balanced meals. When I do try to like plan ahead, or if I'm coming up with like a new recipe, or like experimenting with food, or like not using like one of my go-to meals, I will usually try to make sure I get a good source of protein, a good source of fat in my meals, because for me personally, I function a lot better when I am prioritizing protein and fat, not necessarily deprioritizing carbs. Like, don't get me wrong, I like carbs, but my body really likes a really good amount of protein and definitely fat. Like, I just have better mental clarity, better energy, more sustained energy. Like, I just feel better on a higher-ish fat diet. Again, not a low-carb diet, but a higher-ish fat diet. So I was actually kind of excited to get a workout in today, but like I told you guys, I just went on a little trip and I've been hiking in the mountains, and I did not get enough sleep on the trip, and I think my body is just asking me for a little bit of a rest day. Just go for a little walk, do a little stretchy stretch, hang out, chill, have a snack. Might snack before I go for a walk. So I think I'm just gonna listen to that, because, you know, that's what I've been doing lately, is just trying to be as in tune with my body as possible. Okay, I got a snack. I have like a third of a bag of some paleo puffs left. So I'm gonna eat these, drink some water too, get that hashtag hydration, and I'm gonna walk. All right, walk accomplished, work accomplished. Actually, a lot of things have been accomplished, which feels very nice. I feel very productive. But now, I'm gonna answer some more questions, and then I'm gonna make some dinner, because I am so hungry. Like, I knew I would be hungrier today because I didn't eat quite as much yesterday, but I didn't anticipate thinking, oh, that's where I'm at my menstrual cycle. About to start my period, faster metabolism, I need more food. This makes sense. In case you weren't aware, if you have a natural menstrual cycle in the latter half of your cycle, your metabolism can speed up by up to like 18%. So if you do get hungrier when you get close to your period, that's why. It's not because you just have these insatiable cravings and something's wrong with you. It's because you're actually burning more calories. So if you currently struggle with cravings before your period and feeling like you're always overeating before your period, try just eating more. Maybe your body just needs more. Anywho, more questions, then I'm gonna get my dinner because like I said, I'm hungry. So first question, do you go through stages of being healthy and craving not so healthy food? No, I don't go through separate stages where like sometimes I want to be overall healthy and sometimes I don't want to be overall healthy. I would say 90 to 95% of the time I crave healthy food. I seek out healthy food. That is what I genuinely want. 5 to 10% of the time I want ice cream, I want pancakes, I want chocolate, I want all of the other good stuff. So it's not a phase, it's just like a balanced diet and lifestyle. Do you have periods where you consistently overeat by like 100 calories compared to maintenance? Because I'm not tracking, I couldn't tell you which day is which. I couldn't tell you how many more days I eat over the number of calories I burned versus how many days I eat under the number of calories burned. But what I can tell you is that in the last 2 or 3 months since eating intuitively and not tracking, my weight has basically stayed the same, which means that on average, I am eating precisely the number of calories that I am burning each day. So to answer your question, basically yes and no. Kind of. How do you eat when you're on vacation or on an off day? This is a good question considering, like I told you guys, I was literally just on a mini vacation. So I'll use this vacation as an example. We went to a place where there were barely any restaurants. There was barely any food. There were not a lot of options. And so I basically ate what I could, especially because having celiac disease, my options were even more limited. So I took whatever I could get. Within the options I was given, I did try to prioritize protein. I did try to prioritize whole and processed foods, but it absolutely wasn't something I was focused on. Like one night, they wanted to get pizza, so I had pizza. I had fries while I was there. We made s'mores. We got a lot of random snacks that I wouldn't normally keep for myself at home, and I partook in the snacking. Because it was such a short trip, I really didn't care what I was eating, because 2 days of eating literally only junk food would not have had like a long-term impact on my health anyway. My main priority with food was making sure I was getting enough calories to like fuel everything we wanted to do, which included a lot of hiking, and then making it as balanced as possible just so that I could feel as good as possible, so that I could feel good on the hikes and like do all the other fun things that we wanted to do. So basically any like short-term situations where I have a lot less control over nutrition, or where I really just don't want to prioritize it, want to prioritize other things like spending time with my friends, going on hikes, doing all of that fun stuff, I won't care about what I eat as much, as long as it's not something that like actually physically makes me feel ill. Okay, last question before I make dinner. Do you notice any difference in your digestive system when you make a change in your eating habits? Yes. So that's the thing about how I ate on this vacation. My digestive system is not as happy with me as it normally is. And I knew that that was gonna happen, and that was a sacrifice that I was willing to make. But that's also why I don't eat that way all the time, because it does have some negative consequences on my body and how I feel. And that's why if I were to go on like a more long-term vacation or something, I probably would prioritize the quality of my nutrition a little bit more, because the less I prioritize it, the worse I'm going to feel. So like it's all about finding the balance for me. For dinner, I got a Green Chef box and I am making smoky pork patties. Like I said in, I think my last video or the video before, my life has just been a lot more hectic than anticipated lately, and so I haven't had as much time to eat like 100% the way that I like to. Like I've kind of been at like 75% of eating the way. So I finally decided to order a Green Chef box because their food is like 100% in line with how I like to eat, and it saves me so much time. This is what we're making tonight. Let's do it. You guys, first of all, I'm so excited about this. I tasted little bits and pieces as I was making it.
Oh my god.
But like I was saying, since I haven't had a lot of time lately and have not been able to prioritize nutrition the way that I would like to, I decided to order a Green Chef box, because Green Chef just makes cooking so easy. I can spend so much less time like stressing about what I'm gonna cook, and can just enjoy a home cooked meal without having to think about everything else. One of the things that tends to get deprioritized when I am eating out more rather than cooking at home is the quality of the meat, because, you know, if you're eating at restaurants, they tend to not care about that. So one of the things that I like about Green Chef is that all the meat is reasonably well sourced. You can customize meals with USDA certified organic ground beef, USDA certified organic chicken, and wild caught salmon. Which actually ties into one of the questions that you guys asked me, which was, Marissa, why don't we see you eating more fish on your channel? Like, you never seem to eat fish. What's the deal? I wish my answer were interesting. Actually, I don't wish it were interesting, but it's kind of a boring answer. It's that I'm simply lazy. I want to eat more fish. I know I should eat more fish. It would be great if I ate more fish. One day, I will live a life that incorporates more fish. But the fish that I like to get is at the farmer's market and it's seasonal. And lately I just haven't been going to farmer's markets as much, and so I just haven't been getting the salmon that I like. And so I just haven't been eating a lot of fish. That's it. I think fish is very good for you. It's definitely something that I should eat more of. I'm literally so happy with this dinner right now. Like every single time, I'm not exaggerating. Like Green Chef, whoever makes their sauces deserves the biggest raise on the planet. So Green Chef, if you're watching this, please give your chefs that curate your sauces more money because they deserve it. This is mind-blowing. But for those of you who don't know, Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic meal delivery company. They send you easy to follow recipes that come with pre-measured, pre-made sauces, dressings, ingredients. Like everything is mostly prepped for you, so you just kind of have to do a little slicey dice, little saute, and then you're good to go. And they have options for every lifestyle, including keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, gluten-free. And you can customize your weekly order and mix and match meals from different dietary preference categories. So like if you live with other people, if you have kids, whatever, and you don't all want to eat the same, it's really easy to just like pick something for everyone. I personally love Green Chef because the quality of their ingredients meets my standards, which as you guys know are relatively high. It saves me so much time because I don't have to go grocery shopping. I don't have to spend nearly as much time in the kitchen. It saves me so much stress because I don't have to like think ahead about what I'm gonna have. I just have the food show up and it's there and I'm ready to go. It just makes it so much easier for me to implement the nutritional values that I value without having to put a ton of time and effort into thinking about it. So if you want to check out Green Chef, which I highly recommend, you can use my code FitAndNerdy135 to get yourself $135 off across your first 5 boxes plus free shipping on your first box. You can go to greenchef.com. I will leave a link down in the description box below. Highly recommend you check it out while I eat the rest of this. Did you do it? Did you click the link? Go check it out.
I got a vlog, thank you. It's ice cream time. I brought my roommate. I have company.
Hi. Can I try the Smoky Road, please? Tasting trio with the Smoky Road, the Rocky Road, and the Earl Grey, please. I don't know. That ice cream was so good and much needed. And I think that's all I'm gonna be having today for food. I'm probably gonna take some of my like key sleep supplements in a bit. Might take some magnesium, maybe some CBD. We'll see. But I want to answer some last questions and then I'm gonna get ready for bed, do a little face mask, maybe read a little, have like a chill night. So first question that I want to answer in relation to dessert, I suppose, is what is your view on refined carbs? Here's the thing, I don't label any foods as bad. My view on refined carbs and things that most people consider like to be less healthy options is just prioritize the things that you need to get key nutrients into your body first. And then if you want to fill in the gaps with some other stuff, everything in moderation is fine. What I personally like to do is make sure that I'm getting enough nutrient dense foods in my diet for the day, or at least like on average for the week, before kind of considering the less nutrient dense options, right? Because I don't want my diet to be built around foods that are devoid of nutrients, because that's just gonna lead to me ultimately not feeling great. It's gonna lead to my health not being great, and I don't want that for myself. So I kind of approach food from an addition perspective rather than a subtraction perspective. So if I am adding enough vegetables, enough protein, enough healthy fats, enough foods that are full of vitamins and minerals, enough eggs, etc., like nature's multivitamins, as long as I'm getting enough of those into my diet and adding those into my diet, then I'm less concerned about what's in my diet on top of that. And a lot of the times when I am focused on adding more and more of the good stuff, I don't want the less nutrient dense stuff as much, because again, I'm approaching it from a place of addition rather than restriction. I don't feel restricted when I'm constantly trying to like come up with new ways to add these nutrient dense foods into my diet. So I wouldn't want my diet to be mostly refined carbs, because the refining process removes a lot of the key nutrients that I'm actively seeking to incorporate into my diet. And if I were to have too many refined foods in my life, I wouldn't have enough space to have the stuff that is nutrient dense, that's going to fuel my body, that's going to fuel my health, that's going to keep me deadlifting well into my 80s and help me run around with my grandchildren. So I guess my thoughts, like day to day on refined carbs, is that they tend to be more of an afterthought. I'm not intentionally restricting them, I'm just focusing on adding things that aren't them, usually. Next question, thoughts on snacking close to bedtime? It is indeed close to bedtime, and I will not be having more snacks. This is not because eating close to bedtime inherently makes you gain weight. That is kind of a myth because usually when people are snacking close to bedtime, they're eating a bunch of highly processed, hyper palatable foods that tend to be very calorically dense, which leads to eating in a calorie surplus, which leads to weight gain. It's not really inherently the eating late at night that leads to weight gain. That said, eating close to bedtime, like within an hour or two of bed, does negatively affect your sleep quality. So I personally choose to make an effort to not eat within an hour or two of bed because I want to maximize my sleep quality. At this point, I don't really do it intentionally. I just have dinner, have dessert, and then just because of my schedule that I operate on, that's at least 2 to 3 hours before I go to sleep. If I were to be hungry before bed, I would totally eat. Like, I've done that before where I'm like, I want to go to bed in half an hour, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving. I will absolutely eat. Like, I don't restrict myself from eating. It's just usually I have a huge dinner, I have dessert, I'm super full, and I'm not hungry until like 12 hours later. I guess I already answered the last question, which was, do you have a cutoff time for eating? No, I don't have a hard and fast cutoff time, but I do prefer to not eat for at least an hour or two before I go to sleep. So that being the last question, I think I'm going to wrap up here. I hope this video gave you guys some insight into how I eat and why I eat the way that I do. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. If you guys want me to do another video like this and like address those more specific questions, let me know, because I think I covered some stuff that I don't normally talk about. Make sure you do check out Green Chef and use my code FitAndNerdy135 to get yourself $135 off across your first 5 boxes, plus free shipping on your first box. You can go to greenchef.com. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. Check it out. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. See future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!